everyone, this is Hans Laats of Embertree. In my previous video, I talked about how good shift left practices make your teams more productive and help reduce employee turnover. And I will put a link to that video under this one. A related challenge to that is, of course, the efficient onboarding of newcomers. And you want these newcomers to be productive as soon as possible. And today I want to share with you a few simple things you can do that will have a major impact on the onboarding time. So, by approaching it in the right way, you can reduce the onboarding time of your newcomers by 70%. And the key principle in achieving this is recognizing that everyone, regardless of seniority or level of experience, can contribute to the collective knowledge of your organization. In this case, of course, especially the onboarding process of your organization. Now, you probably already have documentation, information that you share with newcomers, but it's quite common that this documentation is often incomplete or poorly maintained, or there's just so much of it that newcomers quickly get lost in all of it. And the main issue or the main reason for that is that this documentation is often created by people that have already been working in the organization for some years, and they can no longer remember what they struggled with as newcomers. And a lot of the knowledge that they needed at the time has since been completely internalized, and it's hard to imagine not knowing something anymore. So one way to solve this is that, probably the best way to solve this is to let the newcomers themselves create this documentation based on the questions that they have and the answers that they then find. And you can then provide this documentation to other newcomers as well. In that way, this information will be created from the perspective of newcomers, and that's of course much more valuable. You could even make that their first objective, and the first objective for newcomers to proactively help in improving the onboarding process, because of course they're right in the process themselves at that time, and helping with the way that newcomers are trained and integrated into the organization. So a very practical action, if you don't have if you don't have it already, is to ask newcomers to write a one-paragraph description of what their team does, and to write it in the form of "we ensure that." That's a very valuable discussion to have with the rest of the team. But also the statement, this one paragraph, really emphasizes what the team does, what value it delivers. So it could also be very valuable to add that to your organization chart, for example. And of course, you can also take this description, add it to an onboarding booklet or something like that. Another thing to consider is that not all information is immediately relevant to newcomers, even though it might seem crucial to more experienced employees. And this can make it a challenge to build a good knowledge base or a good knowledge portal for newcomers. And how do you avoid newcomers getting lost in all the available information? How do you provide the right information at the right time? Now, I helped one of my clients solve this, and instead of building an intranet page with categories and links to all sorts of information, we set up a central Q&A, central online forum, where newcomers could ask questions about just anything they had a question about. And those questions would be answered by other newcomers, as well as a few experienced mentors. And this data, these questions and answers, they were then compiled into a Q&A, into an FAQ page, and they were organized that way. And this FAQ page in itself then formed the basis of a developing onboarding portal, which was really created by and for the newcomers. So in that way, both the newcomers and your organization will benefit if the first role for these newcomers is during this first week to help improve the onboarding process, the onboarding content. And they will be able to turn their experience with that process and the questions that they have during this process into valuable content and activities that can help future newcomers. So in this way, they can also immediately start building value for the organization from the first day that they arrive, and making making a real impact, which is of course always motivating. And the onboarding, of course, the organization's onboarding process and the training process keeps organically getting stronger without the need for big investments and changes. Of course, because this is proactive and relevant for them, this whole process, the newcomers will, of course, learn more about the organization. They will learn much faster, integrate much faster, and become really productive much faster. Of course, there's quite a lot more to a good onboarding program, and if you want, we can help you with identify and implement the right measures. If you want to know more about this and related topics, you can just send me a question. You can send me your questions on LinkedIn, or you can go to our website, ambertree.consulting, where you will find our other videos as well. And you can also on our website book a free strategy session where we can look into your particular situation and discuss particular things that you can do to solve these challenges related to onboarding, knowledge management, self-service, shift left, and other things. Until then, I hope you have a very productive day, and until next time.